Welcome. Starting with our top story, the wildfires raging across the West. Climate change has now taken the center stage in the race for the White House. Donald Trump and Joe Biden both addressed the fires from opposite coasts. A day of dueling appearances laid out the stark differences between the two candidates. On one side, we have an incumbent president who has long scorned climate change as a hoax and rolled back environmental regulations in the U.S. After weeks of largely remaining silent on the flames, Trump finally flew to California and held a meeting with the governor of California and the Secretary of Natural Resources Agency. What followed was not unexpected, but was disheartening. Listen in.
So I think one area of mutual agreement and priority is vegetation management. But I think we want to work with you to really recognize the changing climate and what it means to our forests and actually work together with that science. That science is going to be key, because if we ignore that science and sort of put our head in the sand and think it's all about vegetation management, we're not going to succeed together protecting Californians.
Okay. It'll start getting cooler. You just watch.
I wish science agreed with you.
Well, I don't think science knows, actually.
The wildfires have charred more than 3.3 million acres in California, triggered Oregon to prepare for a potential mass fatality incident, and created apocalyptic orange skies and clouds raining ash across cities. Will start getting cooler. U.S. President Donald Trump not only refused to acknowledge the effects of climate crisis, but instead pressed on the need for better forest management. Right after the meeting, California Governor Gavin Newsom reiterated his stand on climate change, leading to more devastating wildfires.
So I wanted the president to know that we have established a baseline of engagement that I'd like to build off of. So that was an opportunity, and yes, frankly, to at least state in a way that wasn't trying to take a cheap shot, wasn't trying to score political points, but to make the argument we believe in climate change out here. And we don't believe it just because science says it. We observe it. We experience it.
Meanwhile, the challenger, who has called for an aggressive campaign to curb the greenhouse gases, assailed Mr. Trump's record, inaction and denial on the climate crisis. In Delaware, the Democratic presidential nominee sought to paint a second Trump term as a danger to the nation's suburbs and called him a climate arsonist.
If you give a climate arsonist 4 more years in the White House, why would anyone be surprised if we have more America ablaze? If you give a climate denier 4 more years in the White House, why would anyone be surprised when more of America is underwater? We need a president who respects science, who understands that the damage from climate change is already here. Unless we take urgent action, it will soon be more catastrophic. You know, when Donald Trump thinks about climate change, he thinks hoax. When I think about it, I think jobs. Good paying union jobs that put Americans to work, building a stronger, more climate resilient nation.